What's going on, traders? Welcome to the channel. My name's John. That's Groot. We trade options here, and you came to the right place because we are looking at NIO today. We're going to analyze the chart, look at a couple key things leading up to the March 1st earnings report. This could be a big one, so we'll keep our eyes peeled, see what makes sense. Definitely, if I had to pick, I probably have a little bit of a bullish bias right now, but that leads me into the segment that this is hashtag education only. But take it what you will. Let's jump into the charts, see what we got going on. All right. So you're going to see a couple things that I find very important here. Basically, as I'm looking at some of the biggest volume bars, we have some here in November. And that seems to have created a very significant support that has been tested a couple times. And then, actually it was resistance for a little bit that tested into support and has held very recently, actually this month. So that is a really key level. I think what I'm looking at here is a really nice potential channel that we're trading in, possibly through the month. So we'll have to see, how this factors in as we're approaching mid-month right now in February. But what I'm looking at here that I'm really interested in is how do we react on two things with this trend line that is providing some downward pressure. But how about as we approach support? Is that going to hold? Who knows? But what I'm planning on doing in my platform, I'm actually going to set a trading alert for about 58, 57 price level. And that means as we cross that, I'm going to start keeping my eyes peeled on NIO to see how we look as we get near the support level. Does it soften up? Does the price action and volume action really quiet down? Or does it bounce off it very significantly? Either way, if it's flashing bullish signals like that, that's great. But as this crosses my alert, I'm actually going to start looking at a couple things because that's a key price level. But another thing that's really interesting to me is that the implied volatility on NIO is quite low. It's sitting at 3 right now. And to give you some reference point, generally speaking, when NIO was pumping to the moon up here before, volatility was at about like 85 to 90. So that was pretty crazy, and it was great from an options premium selling standpoint. But right now it's so low that it's providing some opportunity that I'm considering at least buying some options. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But like I was saying, make sure you always understand, keep your risk in check. When I'm making plays that are sort of speculative like this, I really don't want to go past about 1 to 2 to 3% of my overall portfolio. I just want to keep it kind of light and small. And that way, if anything goes wrong, I'm fine. It's just brush it off. I make up for it with my income trades that we do weekly, monthly, etc. However, let's go into your timeline, see if anything stands out. Nothing too big. I'd say as I'm just kind of looking at this chart, the biggest thing I look for is volume. So kind of keep your eyes on that. But if you look at this range right here, one thing I do like is that we've been popping off of the lows each time. You see these bars, they come off the low, they drop, high volume right here, but it came off the low. And then usually these next few bars are key to make sure we don't keep going below it. So really good, came up and then came for a retest, really soft. And then volume came back in and we shot up a little bit. But now you'll see recently we've dropped, and that's not too bad. It is a big bar, but it does tell me that, hey, we want to see who's in charge after this. So another soft kind of test at the low. Let's see how this looks. If it keeps dropping, like I was saying, I'm going to be looking at this 57, 58 level to start at least putting my eyes on this trade and consider what makes sense. Let's go out to the weekly here. So I'm going on the weekly chart. You can see just went super parabolic as usual here, but same idea. This kind of shows actually why this is a strong support level now. A really big weekly bar here, and it has tested a couple times and seems to be holding its weight there. So this is something I like. I'm going to keep my eyes on that support level for sure. But you can see this price action is really tightening up here. So kind of the same how this sort of tightened up and then shot up. We're seeing a tightening right here. Each of these bars is getting a little bit smaller each week, and I presume we'll probably see something on the monthly too. So I'm gonna go out to the monthlies. Yeah, pretty similar looking chart, but the biggest thing I see is, you know, close at the high, close at the high, close at the high. This is basically closing at the high too. This last month in January was probably the only one that it's showing a hammer that could signal some type of reversal potential, but that means the next few bars are really important. So sometimes what you'll see is a hammer like this, and then the next bar either is really tight like we're seeing now, but keep in mind we're only at mid-month. We still got, you know, 15 17 more days or so on to go. So this thing could go much higher or lower, or if it stays here, we're setting up for that March 1st earnings report after the bell. So I'm gonna keep my eyes here, but I do like, everything seems to be falling in line. I like how the price action looks. I really like that the IV rank is really low. It just kind of means the options pricing is quite cheap. And so let's go to kind of some other key things and maybe take a peek here. So I'm gonna jump into Yahoo Finance and a few things I see here that are key. So reports coming out soon, and I guess it's expected from analysts EPS of 0.14 minus 0.14 dollars per share, and that's up quite a bit. That's a 65% return from the prior year, which is great, especially since you'll see some of this growth that has been coming out of NIO. It's pretty significant. Revenue massive, their net income massive, the earnings per share about in line there, you know, about 60 to 65% year over year. So like we're saying, it seems like these industries all do have some linking to each other, so it will really be important to see how kind of the macro sentiment is for the overall markets. So keep your eyes peeled, keep your allocation and risk in check. Don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to make Groot mad. And like I've said multiple times here on the channel, the strategy is we trade options for weekly, monthly income. We use that income to grow that income snowball bigger, but also you take small parts of that for really risky speculative bets that could return a lot. And then you also will put some into longer term, kind of safer growth bets. So that's kind of the game. That's how you stay in it. It's kind of a time and market type of situation. I'm a big believer in options, and Groot and I, like to bring really great value to you multiple times a week. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And peace. Wait, it's not working. Weird. Let's try this again. Peace. Bye-bye.